When I first became a graphic designer, I had moments and times where I did want to quit. When I reflect back on when I started to take on freelance clients of my own, I didn't know what I know now, and I think that's just the name of the game. You learn as you go, but there was times when I had clients that were really tricky. I had some clients that didn't respect the value that I was asking, and overall, it just became really hard. And there was moments where I was like, am I cut out for this? Because this is really hard. But I have learned over the years the things that I need to have to gain those clients that are going to respect your cost, going to respect the value of what it is you're doing, and also that are going to respect your process. So in this video, I'm going to share with you those things that I've learned over the years and that have helped me gain those dream clients and the clients that are not afraid to pay me what I know I'm worth. One of the things that I think that we go through as designers and as entrepreneurs is this is a specific scenario that I've had to deal with, but in the past, I've had clients that I've met when I first started and when I was at the marketing agency that I was at, or when I was at those corporate companies that I worked for. At that time, I was new into the graphic design world. I didn't really have a whole lot of experience. I was still learning, and that was very obvious because I asked a lot of questions and I was a really curious person. But I think that now that those clients still know me and have those connections, they still wanted to pay me what I was worth back then. Whereas 5-6 years have passed and now I'm worth so much more because I've gained so much more knowledge and I know what it is I'm offering and I have a solid process. And it was really tricky at that time because a lot of those clients that I had great connections with just were not understanding that as a designer, I went through growth and that the pricing did reflect that. So I have gone through that before, and that's one of the reasons I wanted to make this video, because I've done a few things to feel confident in the pricing that I have now, and also to feel like I do not have to give discounts and I do not have to lower myself to work with specific clients, because I'm at a place now where I'm working with dream clients that I do not have to lower my pricing for at all. One of the biggest things that I did back then was I said yes to everything and anything. And I'm so glad I did that because it opened up opportunities for me and it allowed me to learn what it is that I do and what I don't like in the design world. But when I look back, even though I was saying yes to everything, that was actually making my portfolio a little bit confusing because I was working with all types of niches, all types of industries, and I honestly at the time didn't really know which direction I wanted to take that in, and I truthfully wasn't ready to niche down yet. However, if you're at a point in your career right now where you just feel like your offerings or maybe your portfolio is not super clear and you have a lot of different pieces, and if you feel like you just want to simplify that, I can definitely share with you guys that helped me so much. I was super afraid to niche down and to only work with companies and industries in the wellness space, but when I did that, it just simplified everything in my website. It simplified everything on my posts, and it just made it that much easier for potential clients to know what exactly it is that I'm offering. So I'm not sitting here saying that you have to go niche down to be successful. Niching down, which is technically just forming yourself around a certain industry so that they know exactly what it is you're offering. You can kind of think about this as similar to like a hairstylist. They are niched down to the hair world, and if they started to offer like maybe massage therapy, nails, and all the beauty things, it would be a little bit confusing as to who to go to for that specific service. So it kind of gives you a little bit of an idea of what I mean by this, because although those are all in the same kind of world, it's really nice to be able to work with someone that you know is an expert in the field that you are within. So when I niched myself down to the wellness space, I was able to work with clients not only in that space, but I also was gaining clients outside that space too, just because they noticed that I have an aesthetic that they like. So I don't want you to fear the fact that you're not going to get clients. I still get clients that are not within that niche, and it just has helped me a ton with communicating with my clients and for them to come to me and get those dream clients that are in that industry that I love to work with. So if you feel stuck, then this is one thing that has really helped me increase my income because those clients do respect what it is worth, and they also are in the industry that I know can afford the investment. And the second thing that I started to do was I simplified my offerings. Back then, when I first became a designer, I was offering brochure design, Facebook ad design, Instagram post designs. I was offering website design and branding design and logo design and all these mini packages, but it was so confusing. My clients didn't really know what it is that I'm actually good at. If I could say it in a simpler way, they didn't know what it is that I am an expert in, because I was claiming that I could do all these things, but we're all humans, and humans know that it's hard to know how to do everything and anything. So sometimes when you're doing that, or if your website's confusing, it can turn clients away because they might feel like you are just not an expert in any of those and that you just kind of know the basics of all of those. Whereas if you show up and you say, I can do this and I can do this really, really well, then you can add those things on later and just gain that trust from them. So I have really simplified my website, and I like to call my offerings like the bread and butter of my business, because I offer branding and website. Like I said, I can add those things on later, but I first want to have that conversation with my clients so I can gain their trust, kind of bring them into my business, and also share with them the way that we could make their specific company and their specific business stand out. Every company is so different, so I feel like when you give them that custom experience and show up as the expert in the bread and butter of your business, everything else will fall into place, and it's just way simpler. As a designer, you'll know exactly how to communicate that, and also clients will know exactly how to interpret that on your website. The next thing that I did was I simplified my portfolio. So on my website, most of the portfolio pieces are those in the beauty and wellness space. I still have some items in there that I'm going to add that aren't within that niche, just because I'm not afraid to work with people that are outside that niche, that maybe just have a connection with me or like the aesthetic of the wellness space branding or website. So anyway, I wanted to mention this point because I have really simplified my portfolio to the point where I make it very clear as to which projects were branding and which projects were website designs. And then when they click into those projects, they can see the more specifics of maybe I did like a brochure design or custom illustrations, and I can really explain that within the projects themselves. But I feel like if your potential clients go to your portfolio, and don't get me wrong, if it looks beautiful, then you're gonna get their attention no matter what. But if you have a ton of different categories and a ton of different portfolio pieces that maybe are all different and mismatched to the point where it just doesn't look very it doesn't flow together, it doesn't look seamless, that can turn clients away. So what I would recommend, and something that I have been doing, is making sure that the main image of that portfolio piece, that all of those main images flow together, whether that means like the same similar background color or just alternating it, kind of like an Instagram grid. That's how I have my portfolio laid out. But I want my portfolio to look aesthetic, and I want them to feel like they know what they're going to get when they work with me, because most of my projects have a similar feeling to it, very minimal, very simple, but I'm not throwing like crazy things into my portfolio that are just going to bring their attention away from it and just confuse them completely. So definitely make sure that if you have a portfolio that might be a little all over the place, to try simplifying it, even if that just means that main image that they're seeing on the page. And then, like I said, you can go into more detail when they click into it and see all the beautiful things that you can create. And the next thing that I have done to really help me increase my income and really land those dream clients, because I understand, you guys, you might have talked to a dream client, you might have sent them that proposal, and they might have disappeared. I understand that's the most frustrating thing, because you put time and effort into really showcasing what it is that you can do, and it's super hard and difficult when you don't get a response to it. But one of the things that's really helped me is making sure that my proposal is beautiful and that it answers all of my clients' questions. I have noticed that if my clients look at the proposal and they have a question and they don't have an answer right away, that they might end up going to talk to someone else, get that answer even quicker, and move forward with them. So make sure that your proposal is really clear to the point, and that you have like a timeline of what it is that they can expect with working with you. So this is why it's important to have a good process, whether you do branding or website, or maybe you offer like packaging branding design, having a timeline of what it is that they know to expect and how often they're going to be working with you is going to really help answer those questions. You can even add like an FAQ to your proposal to answer those common questions that you may have gotten. And then also make sure that the line items of what you're including in the package price is super detailed, super clear, because one of the things that I used to do in the past that was a big mistake was I would just make the line items so simple to the point where it didn't even seem like they were getting that much. They might have looked at the package price and the bullet points that I was including and be like, what is it that I'm actually getting? So make sure that you go into detail with everything that they'll be receiving, and you'll gain those clients much easier because they're gonna see the value of what it is you're offering. Along with adding all that into the proposal, another thing that I've noticed that's really helped me land those leads when I send the proposal is including portfolio images as well as testimonials. Testimonials are super helpful because, I mean, think about it. We don't buy anything on Amazon if it doesn't have reviews. And the same thing kind of goes with graphic designers, because if they're seeing really amazing reviews for you, they're going to want to say yes that much more. So make sure on your proposal that you're including all those items and have a little section about like a client success story and how you're able to make their visions come to life, because that is going to help so much. And that really has helped me make sure that I'm getting a response to those proposals and landing those clients that I really want to work with. So those are some ways that I've been able to land my dream clients and that have really helped me nail down my process and make sure that I'm not reaching those phases where I'm just tired of working with people that maybe don't value what it is I'm offering. These are the things that have helped me show up as that expert and gain the trust and the respect from my dream clients. But if you want to see a full process of my branding or my website, or even how I go into the logo design, I have lots of videos, which I'll link right up above here. But I also have a bunch of courses if you want to learn the full process of how to work with clients. Definitely go check those out. I would love to have you in my course. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I'd appreciate it so much if you gave it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel for more, and I will see you in my next one.